Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today we are going to look at Chapter 24 of the up-and-coming manga Kaiju No.8. First, the non-spoiler section, then we'll get into the details. As I said in my first review, the genius of this series is that it's not in the least bit worried about being original. Nothing happens in this episode that is, strictly speaking, out of the ordinary for a manga like this. In fact, you could probably list the events by the names of common tropes. But, and this is the important part, each step of the storytelling is so well done, each technical detail is so well portrayed, that each character action is so logical according to what we have seen in the past 24 chapters of character development. The monsters stick right to the rules of the world that have been established. This is all done so well that you simply don't notice and certainly don't care that nothing really new happens. The pacing, and of course a big part of this is pacing. The pacing is just wonderful. When you reach the end, there is that same jarring sensation of stepping off the end of the stairs and missing the last step. This is really amazing. There have been only a few books where I got to the end and I was just jarred by wanting more. And this has done it twice in 2 chapters in this manga. You want there to be more. You know logically that you got the full 20-odd pages that you paid for the $1.99 for, but it just isn't enough. Now, I will say that there was something that both surprised and delighted me on the one hand, and gave me a hint of trepidation on the other. Given the pace of the past few chapters, I was expecting this chapter to blast right into the fight, and I was even a little afraid, not very, but it was possible that the situation might be resolved in this chapter alone, as it was billed as the third of the 3 chapters in this arc. But nope, the chapter barely gets the fight started. There is some action and a lot of tactical maneuvering. I know that doesn't sound really exciting, but trust me, the reading and the art flowed like water. Like I said, the pacing was perfect. We also got some pure awesome full-page art of Kaiju No.10, and a double-page spread of one of the wyverns, which revealed a perk of the page layout that this series has been using. Once you get used to the smaller panels, the full-page spreads have a way bigger emotional punch when they do happen. So, that's it for the spoiler-free review. Now we are getting all into the spoilers, so shoo if you don't want to be spoiled. As usual, to give anybody time to scat, I will now pitch my book. Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, a book of human absurdity, is available both on Amazon and directly from me, the author. So if you want the Amazon version, follow the link below and email me if you want a signed first edition. Now, spoilers! The first spoiler is a big old question mark. It seems pretty clear at the end of the last chapter that Kaiju No.10 was deliberately hunting Vice Captain Hoshina very specifically. With his armored hide and his ranged backup, Kaiju No.10 seems specifically designed to be a problem for a melee specialized Vice Captain. However, Kaiju No.10 surprisingly takes the time to talk to Hoshina and asks him who is the strongest officer on the base, suggesting that he's just looking to that Kaiju No.10 is just looking to take out whoever's the most powerful. Of course, Hoshina says it's him, and the kaiju starts attacking. Now, you really get the feeling that the tables are turned in this fight. The last time we got to see Hoshina fighting, he was testing Kaiju No.8 and getting a feel for his power. You get the feeling that now that it is Kaiju No.10 who is holding back and testing Hoshina here. To probably this added to the comment from Kaiju No.9 in the last chapter that he wanted to bring back a specimen shows very intelligent planning and possibly deliberate warfare on the kaiju parts, when up to then they'd been suggested as being basically mindless monsters. Hopefully that this will leave Kaiju No.10 with the same results that Hoshina had, regretting that he didn't go all out from the beginning. A lot of other YouTubers are saying that Hoshina is flagged for death in the coming battle. I hope not. I want to see a lot more interaction between Hoshina and Kafka, and I don't think they're going to put that much effort into developing Hoshina's character and then just off him this quickly in the series, but we'll see. Now, Kafka himself gets a chance to shine. He knows these wyverns and is handing out that information to the rest of the crew. However, that information doesn't seem to do much good at first, as these wyverns are different from the ones that Kafka encountered in 03. There's something about the dragon-type kaiju that makes Kafka's hard-earned knowledge all but useless, and the spotlight turns to another member of the team. One of the beautiful things that these artists do, of course, is making every single panel tell multiple stories at once. There are several panels that could have been done without background. Important secondary characters are shouting important and logical dialogue at each other, and behind them you see little things. There's a cluster of officers pulling their suits on to illustrate the emergency deployment tactics of the Kaiju Defense Force. There's an interesting attention to the details of practical physics. When a character uses super speed or super strength, the points where their body contact the ground creates the logical damage that you would expect from that much force pounding into a basic surface. The flying type Kaiju have logical weaknesses because they need to keep their weight low for flight. Now, I want to go off on a little tangent here, because keeping the armor on the back lightweight shouldn't save enough weight for the Kaiju to fly. The wing-to-body ratio is just too small, and that's not even counting their massively armored chests. Now, there might be something like hollow bones or gas chambers in the Kaiju bodies, reducing their weight and providing lift, but there is another possibility. It is said that the Kaiju emerged from the oceanic trenches. That trope immediately raises the question, emerged from where? Now, the only other cultural phenomenon we have reference for Kaiju bursting out of the Pacific Ocean, is, of course, well, if you watch my videos, you know. So, the greatest chance is that these Kaiju emerged from another reality. Do those Kaiju work on the same principle? If they do, it would actually solve 3 huge problems. 1, I know most obviously where they come from, and why they're so different from Earth creatures. 2, how the wyverns can fly if they have to be concerned about flight weight, if they're folding some of their mass into another reality. And 3, what happens to Kafka's body when he transforms? See, I'm going to do a whole other video on this, but the main points are that any injuries Kafka's human body sustains, he keeps after the transformation and has to heal from at a regular rate. And nothing that happens to his Kaiju body transfers to his human body. And most importantly of all, where the bleep do his clothes go when he transforms? If the transformation is actually him folding his 2 bodies in and out of different realities, this all makes sense in a Star Trek-y sort of way. Either way, it is curious. So the fight is just beginning at the end of Chapter 25. The officers have a battle plan. Vice Captain Hoshina is being tested, and we now have to wait 2 whole weeks before the next chapter. I can only say thank you to the manga spirits that they didn't decide to make this a monthly. So, what do you think, my wonderful viewers? Is Kafka folding reality every time he transforms? Or did the writers just not put that much thought into the concept? Leave a comment below telling me what you think, and follow the link to get your own copy of Humans Are Weird. I have the data. Peace out, my wonderful viewers.